Hi, my name is David Lemayian. I serve as Code for Africa's lead technologist, managing a team of software developers, working with media houses, civil society organizations to innovate in the newsroom. Some of my goals for the ICFJ Night Fellowship is to definitely get more tools, more innovations into the hands of investigative reporters, into the hands of environmental journalists, and into the newsrooms that matter most, the newsrooms that are understaffed and really don't have the resources to be able to take or innovate within themselves. They have to focus on the daily grind to get the news stories out. But also I want to focus on taking some of the innovations that we've been able to do across the continent and bring them to the US, bring them to the West, bring them to Europe and the UK. So one of the tools that definitely stood out for me was the Got to Vote, where over 400,000 Malawians were able to find out if they're registered to vote using SMS. A very simple system, yes, but was able to reduce the strain that the government had to go through this process. And it removed the sort of barrier for people to actually make sure that they get out and vote, and encourage them definitely to vote. Interestingly enough, we've been doing this for about 4 years now, and starting off, the newsrooms really weren't working with data. They weren't working with technologists. And now, since we've been enabling the ecosystem, we've been trying to bring in more people, go to more countries, and run data journalism trainings. We have been receiving a lot more interest to get technologists in the newsrooms, to get newsrooms working with sort of different players in the sector, whether designers, coders, front-end developers, back-end, the whole spectrum of technologists. And now that there's that growing interest, we definitely want to enable that ecosystem. We want to get more technologists working with more journalists in different fields and making sure that they're collaborating every day. An interesting way that definitely has been done is through the Star Health tools, which are a story about a fake doctor, a person posing as a doctor, a gynecologist, molesting the patients or the people who came to him. And this story was broken by a reporter, but then how could then ordinary citizens be able to use better information or to find out more information about their own doctors? And where a technologist came in, was able to create a simple news tool to be able to facilitate this kind of allowing people to search for their own doctors while reading the story about this one who was, not so good. So to focus on health and development issues is an important thing, particularly across the African continent. We are at an interesting place where the sort of preventable diseases are now coming into play. Development issues are important because we're getting into sort of this debt crisis, but a lot of money is still flowing into this sort of African countries for use for people. But then there's still so much corruption, there's still so much being held back in terms of being able to develop or move forward for these countries. And we definitely know that a healthy population is a working population. And we were able to tell those stories. We were able to see where this money is flowing, where people are, and telling those important stories of what are the data points. We're able to tell it from a fact basis, not from a hearsay basis that, in fact, yes, the biggest miners in Mozambique or Malawi are, in fact, Malawians. No, it's actually Chinese or different ones. Or what does that mean for taxes? What does it mean for that your health, or rather being able to find that nearest health facility nearest to you means. And I think that's how we're going to work on that. It's definitely an evolving process, but we're definitely going to experiment and work with journalists to do that.